in every man that wants to show off, I am the man of the house, there's a baby. The ability to capture that baby in your hand. It's an egg. You don't. When you drop an egg on the ground, can you come back? As a man, if you really want to be a man, I think the ability for you to control the situation makes you a mature man. There's no woman in this world that doesn't know how to talk. It's a lie. You cannot be so quiet to the point that you will not want to. Nobody has their moment.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. What's up? How you guys doing? Yeah, if you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, oh shit, thank you so much for sticking with me. Today guys, I have a very special guest in our midst, and it's no other person than Your Royal Majesty, Mrs. Bukky. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so guys, today we're gonna be talking about relationship. We're gonna be talking about relationship broadly, and things related to relationship, marriage, domestic violence, and so many other things. So guys, if that sounds like something you might be interested in, keep watching. Alright people, Miss Bukky, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so now what do you understand by relationship? What is relationship?
Well, relationship is an intimacy between two people. I'll say an opposite sex. The relationship between a boy and a girl, a man and a woman, intimacy, or you can say a sexual intimacy between two people. Whatever you can like align it with.
Alright, thank you so much. So that means like relationship is an intimacy between two people, like you can be with the opposite sex, Yeah, just a relationship. Yeah, now I have another question for you. What is marital relationship?
Marital relationship is the joining of a man and a woman before God and man. It could be in the courts, it could be in the mosques, it could be in the courts, and it could be traditionally, whichever. But when you say somebody is maritally engaged or maritally in a relationship, that means they are married, they are together, they have a bond together. Yes, so that's a marital relationship.
Alright guys, so let's move on. I have another question here. What can cause drift between couples that can lead to domestic violence?
Well, there are so many things that can cause it to. Most importantly, I think, is when they stop understanding each other, or they stop seeing things from the same angle, and the both of them are not really going well with each other again. Most times, it's possible that one of the spouse is already getting tired of the other person, and whatever the other partner does tends to irritate the person. You're not just comfortable with this person being around. It's not like you don't really like the person, but the love you felt before is kind of diminishing, or probably you are a jealous type of person, and then when you see your partner with somebody else, you're like, is she supposed to be with this person, or is he supposed to be with this person? And so there are so many things that can cause drift in a relationship, especially in marriage. There are so many things that can cause drift. So I can't really place a finger on a particular thing, but I would say the most important thing that could cause a drift in a relationship is basically misunderstanding. When you stop understanding each other, because it is when you stop understanding marriage and lead to so many things.
Okay, Mrs. Bukky, I feel we need to narrow down to this whole domestic violence thing. Like, it is everywhere now on social media. Like, it's just too much. What is domestic violence?
So domestic violence refers to the victimization of a person with whom the abuser has or has an intimate sexual or spousal relationship with.
Okay.
Yes. Or you could say domestic violence is the battering of one's spouse or one's partner.
Okay.
Yes.
So one person is always the victim in domestic
Somebody is always
violence.
the victim, yes.
Okay. All right. Now let's move on. So in domestic violence, I feel it's an abuse of one of the partner, right? Like it's an abuse of one of the partners since one of them is always the victim. So what are the types of abuse that can really take place in a domestic violence relationship?
Type of abuse. We have emotional abuse. We have abuse of the mind. When somebody is really messing with your mind and you can't really say it. Then we have the other one when your partner is beating you up. That's another thing. But I think the major one we see these days is the physical abuse. Beating of one's spouse or one's partner. I think that's the major one we see these days. But the one that causes depression most times is the emotional part of it. That the person, when you say something is emotional, you can't really see it. The person is not really raising his or her hand to beat you. But emotionally, you are getting drained. The person is dealing with your senses, messing with your emotions and making you feel really small, And when somebody starts messing up with you like that, it makes you feel useless. You can't really go further. You can't really do much for yourself, even in the marriage. You can't really do much because emotionally you are deranged. But the one we see mostly is the physical one.
I feel
which is on the high side.
It's on the high side, and I feel like that's the one that is more pronounced.
That's
you know, we women, because I feel men still go through this stuff. Like, when we women, our strength is in our mouth. You can really be abusing someone with your words, and the person will be feeling down, emotionally down. But because this person has not really raised his or her hand on you, people are not really seeing it, and you're really not taking it like you are abusing someone. That's why some men will tell you that they are still feeling like they still go through this domestic violence and even emotional abuse because of the way their women talk to them. The same pain you feel when someone hits you is the same pain you feel when someone abuses you emotionally.
Especially somebody that you really love.
Yeah.
Somebody that you like. I don't know, while growing up, I'm very attached with my mom. So there's sometimes that she says something to me, because of the love I have for her. I feel like, why would this woman that I love so much tell me something?
Yeah.
So now imagine that your husband, or your wife says something that breaks your heart, and you feel like, this is somebody I really love. Why would he say this to me?
It's more hurtful and painful when it comes from someone that you really love.
Yes,
if it's an outsider that you don't even care about this person,
you don't give a shit.
So
but when it's somebody that you love,
So you said we have physical abuse, emotional abuse.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Another question I have for you is: at what point should a partner or a victim call it a domestic violence? At what point should you really call this what is happening to you domestic violence? Because in relationship you will always have misunderstanding. Misunderstanding will always come up. You will always have arguments. You will always argue. You can even raise your voices at each other. But at what point should you really call this domestic violence?
Emotionally, you will not really know that you have been abused. To get to a point before you start noticing that this is actually an abuse. But when it's physical, when you cannot come to a a conclusive conclusion about something. Like when you cannot talk about something and it doesn't degenerate into something else.
Something bigger.
You cannot really talk. You cannot really have an argument and it doesn't get to beating or slapping. I think that is when you start getting physical. When you start beating somebody, that is domestic violence of the day. That is you already.
I feel that is the height.
That is you already in the moment.
Yeah.
You are already in it already.
Yes.
So I don't think you have to stay for him to beat you.
Someone I know said that it was even we were discussing this issue one day. You were like, the moment a man tries to say,
that's
okay,
the point.
you don't need to learn. You don't need to learn.
You don't have to wait for him to now. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Once you start seeing signs, that is him being physical. Or that is her being physical. Because I know it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way. In as much as the female aspect is higher.
Yeah, it's 80%.
Yes, but I know it's a two-way. So that's the point
that this is domestic violence.
And I don't.
But there are some men or there are some people that will tell you that I can't beat a woman or I can't raise my hand. But what they do to you is even better than.
It's even better or it's even worse than
him beating you. So there are some experience or there are some things you just get from somebody. You just know that you can't take it. Things you can't really take, you can't really take it. Just know that this is an abuse, This is an abuse, even emotionally. There are things you can't just take. When you get to the climax.
Most times, before you get into marriage, whilst dating, you see these signs, but because of the love, most times we tend to overlook it. If there's no how you be with a person, that once in a while, their true character will not come.
Yeah, like my dad will always say, character is like pregnancy. It doesn't hide. It must get to a stage you come out.
You see.
Yeah.
Because of the love, most times, there's a definition in love that says that love is blind. Love overrules or
God.
So sometimes because of so much love you have for this person, it overrules the person's love that you don't notice the little things that you should actually know about that person. And so when you get into marriage, that's when you are clears up and you're like, this person can actually,
Yeah.
But you actually saw it.
But you didn't really take note of it. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Let's move on. I have another question here, and it's: at what point should you call for help? When you get married, your mom or even your relations will tell you, don't call us, so is your husband, anything that happens in your relationship we don't want to hear. Even your friends will tell you, now that you are married, our friendship will have limits. So, at what point should you really call for help? Because they will tell you don't, involve third party in your relationship. But when should you really call for help?
When it's something you can talk about, when it's something you can settle, I don't think you have to call. But when it's beating, it involves beating. Battering, I don't think you have to wait till you some people will say, let me wait, he will not do it again, let me wait for the second time, he won't do it again, and then you wait and he does it again, and then you are still chilling and he's doing it again and I feel like immediately he does it the first time, please go out. If you can broadcast it on social media, please come out and say, don't die because you want your marriage to work. Please. And some people say they are staying because of their children. If you die, who will take care of your children?
And even if you die, the children will still live their life. Orphans are living.
And you discover that most times when you are saying, I want to stay because of my kids, I don't want another one to, and something happens to you, probably the person wants married because of depression or the person ends up dying. Your husband will want to marry another one because you want the man's excuse will be, I want somebody who
will take care of
my children. And at the end of the day, somebody is still coming into the house. So why would you now die? I mean, these kids need you to even survive.
Yeah.
They need you to
And they need you to be emotionally okay.
Yes.
Take care of them.
So why would
because
you
someone that
stay?
is depressed will not be able to raise
You can't
children.
raise a good,
So
a good
you-
kid
you-
when you are depressed. There's no how you can do that. I feel like the first time it happens, just please cry for help.
Even an attempt.
Don't listen to what people will say. Say it out. Go out and tell somebody this is what happened today. If you can shout it, shout it. It's not something you cover. You don't cover a man bitter. It's wrong. You are actually killing yourself.
Even a woman.
You can't. You can't. No, it's wrong.
Okay. So we move on. I'm really enjoying this. Like, it's really fun for me. And now another question for you, Miss Buki, is how should men be treated in relationship, and how should women be treated in relationship or in marriage, whatever?
Let's say in marriage, what we're talking about. A man wants to be treated as a king. A man wants to be treated as the head. Originally, that's how God created them to be. You know, they have this ego.
And then
I'm a man. You know, so they want to be treated as such. But I'll have you know that in every man, there's a baby.
yeah.
In every man that wants to show off, I am the man of the earth, there's a baby. The ability to capture that baby in your mouth makes him a husband. And a husband means a man that houses his family. Husband is the horse that bands the house together. So if you can capture your baby in your husband, if you can know the baby in your husband, you actually have a beautiful. It's not that you will not have misunderstanding. No, you will surely have misunderstanding. But because you know that part of you, that is, you know, a baby wants to be cuddled. A baby wants, a baby likes you to cuddle him, play with him, rub him, carry him around, dance with him.
Yeah.
You can capture that part of a man.
Yeah. Guys, this is a secret.
You can actually, but in as much as in every man there's a baby, there are some men that no matter how much you try to please them, you cannot just do it. There are some men that even if you climb to the highest mountain, it is not working there. Do you know? So there are some people that you can actually make. I can make a home beautiful for you, and there are some people that can mess you up, make you so miserable that you will not even know why you are married.
So how should you treat those kind of men?
There's a saying that if you want a heaven, make your wife an angel.
Yeah.
If you want hell, you know what to turn like. So when you start, you try to please your husband, you do everything to make him okay, and you see that it's not really getting to that point. You're not really
getting any
positive
results
from it. Whatever you do doesn't please you. You just know that. I think you just have to know that this man's heart is not with you.
Yeah.
You're not really. It's not
I
working.
feel yes.
It's not
because
working.
people really somehow try to mend their ways because of the person they love.
Because you love a person that you want it to work.
Even if you're not changing entirely, you can actually
change.
Compromise.
You cannot just turn into what you're not.
Yeah. So if you see that there are no changes coming, you just know that this man is not coming. Okay. So what about the woman? How should women be treated in marriage?
A woman is an egg. When you drop an egg on the ground, can you come back together? That's how we should be treated, like an egg, like something you pamper. It's supposed to be cherished. I know we have our bad side. When God was creating us, He gave us extra power in our mouths. But in as much as we know how to talk, most times that's the only way we express our feelings. We don't have the strength to start, throwing blows and all of that. Most times the way we show how we feel is the words of our mouth. Now when a woman starts saying some things that you don't like, just know that she's not happy with what she's saying, or she's not happy with her environment. I know most times some women can say something that can, because I've seen a situation where they were dating, and this girl said something that the guy could not bear, and you gave her a very hot slap in my presence. Now I know that most times people say things that female shame things that that push you to the wall and make you get me, and but as a man, if you really want to be a man, I think the ability for you to control the situation makes you a matured man. There's no there's no woman in this world that doesn't know how to talk. It's a lie. You cannot be so quiet to the point that you will not want to talk. You get, but when you know that you can't bear what this person is saying, please walk away. Go out. By the time you come back, your wife is cold. You know, most times, you know, when you walk,
even if she's not cold, you will not react the same way you react immediately.
You notice that when a woman is angry or she's vibrating and she notices that you're not talking, or you go out of the house and you come back, she feels very sober. She's like,
but there are some that will not still feel sober.
Even
you know, there are some
sober,
women that will say he's always walking away in arguments.
She will not be saying, you know, anger
or
shouting
as
less.
yeah.
You know, she will not be shouting at the way she was shouting before.
Yeah.
You know, just to go out of the house. There are so many ways to. My husband will tell you that I have so many ways to treat you that I won't even touch you. And I know you feel bad. You know, you don't have to beat a man. You cannot be beating an adult that you are trying to discipline an adult and who does that?
Yeah.
You don't beat an adult to discipline an adult. That's a grown person. That is a
just where your mom cannot come out and start beating like you know that kind of
what discipline are you trying to instill in the person?
It won't even work.
It can't work. It can't work. That's a full grown mind. You know, a complete sense of human. You cannot beat a person. You say you are trying to she's disobedient, and then when you beat her, you're trying to correct the
That's
child.
what some men do say.
Are you correcting the child? You cannot correct an adult by beating the person. No. Whatever you talk about with the person and the person is on it, just leave it.
Yeah.
You can't then go on and start beating the person because of discipline.
Yeah, and I feel the reason why, you know, some girls will tell you that the bad boys know how to handle them well, because I feel these bad boys, they know how to capture the weak points of women. They know like how to like do their thing in a way that even if you are angry, you will not express your anger the same way you express it to someone that doesn't know how to like capture your weak point. You know, I feel every one of us should know the weak points of your partner. You know, try and know how to, you know, if you have someone that is hot-tempered, you know that there is a particular thing you will do that will calm this person down. Like you've been in a relationship for this person.
Everybody has
a mumu button. Everybody has their mumu button. So your own is just to find out your partner's mumu button. You know. So and just like you said, in every man there's a little boy that needs to be pampered. So you as a woman, you need to find out that baby in your husband, that baby in your king. Try and find out and then know how to like coddle this baby into doing what you want him to do for you. You know, same thing goes to the men. Okay, like this is Buki. I really like. I'm not even thinking about this video now. I'm thinking about what I'm really getting from this whole discussion. I'm so grateful you came. Thank you so much. Now let's move on. The next question I have for you is, do men still go through domestic violence or abuse?
Yeah, they do. Although it's few, you know,
Yeah.
it's not as pronounced as a man beating a woman.
And I feel men don't really speak out.
But they do.
Yeah.
They do, yes. There some
Women are
that
quick
really
to
have upper hand
in
over
their
their man. Yes, they do. We have. You know, some women, the words of their mouth can make you hang yourself. Can make you go and hang yourself. So yes, we have.
And another question now is excessively posting on social media healthy for relationship? Is it okay for you to be posting every single thing about your relationship?
Some people are obsessed with it. You know, me, I'm not in social media. I'm not posting. Once in a while, I do it though.
Yeah.
But I'm not. You know, some people you go to church with your husband, you post it. You go to eatery with your husband, you post it. You wear the same shoe with your husband, it's on the internet. You do this with your man, you know. Some people, I don't think everybody You know, people that do it, I don't think they do it because of show off.
Yeah.
I think they just do it because they like it. You
Yeah.
know? Some people are obsessed with.
So I'm saying they keep it just to keep memories. You know.
So
just to see.
I think I will not say because I don't like it, then
That
somebody
is
else
bad.
is doing it is bad.
Mm.
If they're okay with it, no problem. You know, but if you are so good at showing us your good side, please, when there's a bad side, please put it on the internet so that we know that it's not everything that is rosy. If you can show us the day you're laughing, please show us the day that you're angry.
That you're really having hot discussion.
So that we know that, you know,
You know.
since you're so obsessed
With
the-
posting.
with the internet,
You know,
and
like
what-
I
what
think that's
to
the
show-
issue.
what
Like
to show off your
they always post the positive, the good aspect
and
of
you know,
everything.
most times it gives people a wrong impression of marriage because
Yeah.
you know most times you feel like this person is always posting me, you know, my marriage
Yeah.
is God has blessed me with that and so when you
Younger ones
as a
coming
young
up
person
now.
gets married
Yeah.
there and you start having misunderstanding with your husband, you now start comparing that this Antina that she's posting on the internet now she don't used to fight with her husband.
Mm.
You should see them and they're always posting.
So that's why if you are posting, if you are so obsessed, post both sides. Don't just post
Some
only
people
the
like it,
positive side.
Some people
And
like
I feel it's only women that majority of women like it, but men don't like it. Majority of men don't like it. They feel they want to keep their relationship private. They want everything to be private.
I will still say it though. A man that says let's keep this relationship private, let's not check it. Check it though.
There might be cockroach in this.
A man that loves you wants to show you to the whole world. When I was dating my husband before we got married, I was like, maybe I don't want people to start, you know, start putting her on our relationship.
Yeah.
It was like I want the whole world to know that I am with you. So a man that loves you will want to show you off. He wants everybody to know that. I finally caught this babe after so many
Yeah. So, Mrs. Buki, the final question I have for you today. Guys, if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, you are a thief. You're gaining and you don't want to subscribe. So the only thing you have to do now to pay us back for this whole advice
subscribe,
is subscribe, please. Subscribe, like, share, and leave your comments. You know, discussion continue in the comment section. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe, please. Yeah, Mrs. Buki, the final question I have for you today is, what should be the foundation of a true relationship or a true marriage?
God should be the foundation of whatever you are doing in life. Not even just marriage. God should be the basics of God. As in, let it be on the grounds. Let it be on the grounds of what you are building on. When you have a solid foundation in Christ Jesus,
I think people overlook that aspect.
no
like,
matter the wind that blows you,
yeah,
God will always find a way to restore you back.
yeah,
You know, when God restores you, He increases you.
yeah.
You know, so I think God should be. I don't know for most people though. You know, most people just go into dating.
Yeah, they overlook that aspect. You know, when they see you praying like God, especially when you are a Christian and you go to church and like somebody asks you, what did you pray about? I'm praying for a good partner, and they be like, they are praying for husband. It's just as if okay, the whole world is on you. You are looking for husband so desperately. Now you are going to church.
God should be the foundation.
God
of
should
your
be.
relationship. And if God is your foundation, it shouldn't just be yours alone. It should be both sides. The Bible says 1,000 shall change. One person shall chase 1,000. 2 people shall chase 10,000. He did not say 2 people shall chase 2.
Yeah.
He did not say 5. He said 10. That is double. That is triple
Not even true.
of what you are chasing. So it should be the both sides. If you are holding God strong, let it be that it's both of you that is holding God strong. What comes out, the proclamation of the word from one or more person. So two cannot work together except they agree. They must be an agreement. So God should be the basics of whatever you are doing in life. God should
Like
be
no
if
matter
God is-
how civilized you are,
No,
like
no.
don't underestimate the power of God.
No,
Like
no,
you shouldn't.
no.
Seriously, it's very important to put God first. Like if it will take you to go to the church and be kneeling down just because your partner is something like God has given us the choice to choose
a
whoever
man that
you
loves God,
will hardly
not just
misbehave.
a roadside Christian.
Yeah.
A man that loves God and fears God will not beat him. It's not possible.
Because he knows what the Bible says about a man, you know.
And you know when I'm saying this now, some people say, what the pastors that beat their wife? A pastor that beats his wife does not love God. You cannot love God and fear God and beat up your wife.
Because even it's in the Bible that husband love your wife just like Christ loved the church.
Do you know how many sins we commit against God? And I don't think God has punished us in the point of us having bruises on our face.
No, not talk of you.
Or you know, we have so offended God that God can even take away our destiny from us. But He has never done that. He still lives you with your life.
Yeah.
So why will what kind of offend can your partner offend you to the point that you now so beat the person up? And there was a post I saw recently on Facebook. This guy beat up his girlfriend to the point that he changed the forehead of the girl. Like we did not understand where her forehead was.
Oh, Lord.
I cannot say she has a forehead here or is here. The guy shifted the girl's whole face. His face was here. This place elsewhere. Sorry, please. The eyebrow was here.
Oh my God, I don't even know why I'm laughing.
Our full eyebrow was here. What kind of love is
What
that?
would she have done?
And then you say I'm a jealous lover. I don't want to see a man.
Oh my God, like if I hear jealous love, I'm always running with my two because me, I'm this type, like I'm more free with male than women, like girls. You know, just imagine my partner telling me that he's a jealous lover. Like that one will not work because
do you know our God is a jealous God?
yeah,
And He will still allow you first.
you know,
Then He will not allow you to come back to yourself.
just like the prodigal son.
And He's a jealous God, but it doesn't kill you because you're serving another God. So how jealous can you get?
Like
How?
okay, guys, Miss
So let's
Cookie,
see,
I want
let's
you
see
to
what
like,
we
I
know.
want you to give us like your final advice, you know, to young girls looking to go into relationship and to those that are already in marriage. Like, what advice? Because here, guys, she's a married woman. So, what advice do you have for us, the single ones, and those that are already into it, and those that are, you know, that are already engaged to go into it? So, what advice do you have?
These days, girls don't even allow themselves to mature before they get into a relationship. And so because of their premature mind, you know, because of that mind they use in getting into a relationship, they take all sorts of things because you don't even know what getting into a relationship entails. You don't know what a relationship is like. And so you feel whatever the guy is doing to you is you being in a relationship.
Yeah.
A guy beats you up, you're in a relationship. And when you're like, no, leave him, he loves me.
And they feel, some people feel
That's the way of
abuse is another is love language. Like
I've met somebody that said
abuse can be love
I've met somebody
language.
that said she had an argument, a serious argument with her boyfriend. The guy is always, whenever they have an argument, the guy is always beating her up. And so that time they had an
Like,
argument.
I can imagine.
And the guy did not beat her up.
Ah,
And so she was angry. And so she started scattering things and she started falling down things.
that the boy did not beat her up
That
as
the boy
usual.
doesn't love her anymore, that the boy did not beat her up. You know? So that's another mentality.
Okay.
So please, whatever you are getting into, have the mindset of, you know, a relationship is supposed to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
Marriage is for enjoyment.
It's not for you to
You shouldn't go
endure.
into and start suffering. No, there should be companionship, friendship. You know, most times I spend with my husband, it's just playing and playing and playing and playing and playing.
Yeah.
We may, you know, in the midst of us playing, we may have disagreements.
Yeah.
We still use play and provide. You know, in everything, please go into, have the mindset that this thing you are getting yourself into is something you need to enjoy.
Yeah.
Try to make it work, though. But if you know it's not working, please work out of it. Don't stay in a marriage because you are trying to make it work. Don't stay in a marriage because you have a position in church and you feel that when you leave the marriage, people will talk about it. No, please leave the marriage. Especially when it's getting physical. Do not stay in a marriage that messes with your emotional thinking and makes you feel less and makes you feel small and makes you feel that you cannot do anything in life. please leave. Please do not, in as much as God does not like divorce, but please live the marriage with your life. Don't die trying to please people. If you die, these people will come to your burial and eat your rice, and they will say this rice is not even sweet, the meat is very small. Please don't. If you want to make it work and you see it's not working, walk away. It's not a do or die affair.
Yeah, for someone going into it,
you can't really advise a person that is in love. You can't. When a woman is in love,
there's nothing you tell her that she will listen to.
Mara. Like they say, the two people you cannot advise is a rich man and a person in love.
Yeah.
You can't. But whatever you are doing, please
Try and open your eyes.
open your eyes. Abeg.
Don't be blind.
Abeg. See whatever you are getting yourself into. It is not by force. I've seen people who are not married and they are happy with their life. Not that they don't want companionship, but most times, life is a two-way thing. Life is how you take it. I beg you to do it, but when it's not functioning for you or it's not going the right place you want, let it go. Let it go. Most times you leave one.
You just fulfill.
Most times you leave
months.
You leave a person, that is beating you, and after some, maybe a year or some years or few months, you get somebody that adores you.
Yeah.
Somebody that is scared to touch you. So that means that the person that you were with before is not
It's the
even your
wrong
own.
person. It's the wrong person.
Don't stay there and die. No, don't. Please. I think marriage is overrated. That's why
It's overrated.
You feel like if you don't get married, you don't have value.
You are not complete.
You are not responsible. People, no, please.
Yeah, guys, we heard it off from Mrs. Bookie. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Guys, you've heard it all. Please don't stay in a toxic relationship. If it's not working, please take a walk and leave. You'll find someone that appreciates you. Yeah, guys, you've heard it all from Mrs. Bookie herself. Please don't stay in a toxic relationship, basically. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Mary Mo's channel. We need to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours before December. Okay, please stay safe and stay blessed. Peace out. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay.